everybody, welcome to Lehigh University. Behind me we have the Lehigh Alumni Memorial Building. Just a little quick fun fact, Lehigh was founded in 1865 by Asa Packer. Just throwing a little fun fact there. Behind me, like I said, the Lehigh Alumni Memorial Building. There you'll find the office of the president, the provost, admissions, financial aid, bursar, and academic registration services. I spent a lot of my time in there just because I work there. It actually feels like a little home in there too. It was my first stop here at Lehigh when I came to visit a long time ago. So it's a place for me to call home. So Lehigh is considered a medium-sized school. We have over 5,000 undergrad students and less than 2,000 graduate students. And right now we are in one of our three main campuses. We have the Asa Packer campus, Mountaintop, and Goodman. Asa Packer is where you'll see that 90% of students spend their time. This is where most of the classes take place. Mountaintop is more for like architecture, creative inquiry, as well as research. And Goodman is just for sports, so that's where our athletes will practice, and the arenas are there too, so that's where they'll play. We have four colleges. We have the College of Art and Sciences, we have the College of Business, PC Rawson College of Engineering and Applied Sciences, as well as the College of Health. And for graduate students, we have the College of Education. We have also around here, around the Alumni Building, we have the President's House, and the president actually does live there. You actually see him around during the year. He also has events where students can come and learn more about him, and he learns about them. He has barbecues, pizza parties, and things like that. Actually, I remember the First Gen House came here to talk to him, and he could learn more about the First Gen community. So just a little fun fact as well there.
How's it going, everybody? The next stop on our tour is the Clayton University Center. Now, the University Center here at Lehigh is sort of like our main student center. It is home to a lot of different offices and resources that are available for students. So when I say offices, there's a bunch of stuff going on in there, like the Office for Multicultural Affairs, our award-winning Pride Center, the Office for First Year Engagement, the Office for Fraternity and Sorority Affairs. So there's a lot of different resources that are available right here in the UC. Now, the UC also contains two different dining halls. On the first floor, we have Lower Court, which is an all-you-can-eat buffet-style dining option where you swipe in, eat as much as you want, eat until you're absolutely stuffed, and then head out. And then on the second floor is sort of like a food court style a la carte where you pay for what you get. So there's sort of like a fake Chipotle, burrito bar, pizza, pasta, all that good stuff. So there's tons of options to eat in the University Center. And the UC is located right in the center of campus. So now down here to my right is our front lawn. So the front lawn is sort of like the main quad here on campus. A lot of the student life really revolves around the front lawn. As you can see, the lawn is scattered with Adirondack chairs. The Wi-Fi network actually does reach out here to the lawn, so this is a really awesome spot to come and sit and do your homework, read a book, take a nap is what I like to do. So oftentimes on a nice day like today, you'll see tons of students out and about here on the lawn. There are also usually a ton of events that are going on right here on the front lawn. So first and foremost, I love to talk about the club fair. At the beginning of every year, every single club on Lehigh's campus, all 200 plus of them, they each get a table and they set up a little booth and demo what their club is all about. It gives the students an opportunity to walk around, see all the different clubs that are out there, see everything that's going on Lehigh's campus. Traditionally, they'll sort of ask you to put your name down on sort of a mailing list or an email list. So if there's something that seems remotely cool to you, you put your name down, your email, they'll reach out to you and you can check out the first meeting, first newsletter, and learn more about that club. So it's a great way to see all the different options that are out there. There are tons of really cool clubs on campus, like the Taekwondo Club, the Beekeeping Club, the Cheese Club, the Chocolate Club. Whatever you're into, I am sure there's a club here on campus for you. Something else that is really awesome about the front lawn is we also host our fall concerts right here on the front lawn. So at the beginning of every year, they actually build and set up an entire concert stage right down by the flagpole. And the university will bring in some really awesome artists to come and put on a free concert for all of the students. So in the past, we've had some really great artists perform like Halsey, Lost Kings, Quinn 92, Black Bear, some really cool big name artists, and those are totally free concerts for the students to come and just have a good time. Unfortunately, this year due to COVID, there was no fall concert, but the university has been putting on some awesome events for students that are COVID friendly. So we've been doing some outdoor movie nights here on the front lawn, outdoor yoga sessions and yoga classes right here on the lawn, of course staying socially distant. But the front lawn is really just an awesome place for student life to revolve around.
Linderman Library. This is one of our two main libraries here on campus. This is the Social Sciences and Humanities Library, but Linderman, or what we call Lindy here at school, has a ton of history associated with it as well. So Asa Packer, the founder of our university, actually built Lindy for his daughter Lucy Linderman, hence the name. It's really a great resource that we have on campus. Aside from the 1.2 million volumes of books, I have not read all of them, sorry guys. You can really come in here any time of the day. During finals, the library is open 24/7, which is a really great resource. Obviously, I don't want you to be spending an all-nighter in the library, but sometimes it happens. And then on normal days, it's usually open until about 2 a.m. We also do have a coffee shop in the basement called Lucy's. Absolutely incredible. You can get coffee, sushi, bagels, anything you can really want. So while you're in here, whenever you're studying, you can definitely sustain yourself, which is great. We also have a ton of resources, so whether it's computer labs, lecture halls, just normal classrooms, or my favorite, the silent reading room, because I cannot study with other people present. You can come in here and get whatever type of style learning environment you want, which is really great. It's also one of the most iconic places on campus. The rotunda, which was part of its original building, is absolutely gorgeous. We've actually been featured on Jeopardy as a question, so when Alex Trebek is talking about your school's library, that's when you know you've made it, which is really cool. We've also been a backdrop on Saturday Night Live, so everything from Jeopardy to SNL, we've got TV covered, so that's really cool. Our other library is Fairchild Martindale Library. It's more of the science and technology library. It's like more clean-cut, cubicles, breathe too loudly, someone's gonna shush you type environment. But it's nice to have the two styles, so whatever type of student you are, you can go and find your learning environment. So yeah. Right up over here is actually Cope Hall. So Cope Hall is home to our journalism department here at school. The brown and white, aside from being our school colors, which I promise do grow on you, is our school newspaper, and it's one of my favorite things here at school. It is completely student run. So from the editors, publishers, photographers, it's all students. You can take it for credit. You do not need to be a journalism major to get involved, which is really great. Lehigh really wants you to just pursue something because you're passionate about it, not because it's part of your academic curriculum necessarily. So right behind me is Williams Hall. Williams Hall is the global hub of campus, which is really cool. There's always different events and different things going on inside of this building, but they're all related about like our international and global union that we're trying to promote here at Lehigh. So there's always different news stations up on the, I think 7 different television screens in the main hall of Williams. So you're always getting different perspectives on different news-like stations and knowing what's happening in the world, which is so important. And I really love just coming in and having it in the background when I'm studying or eating. There's a great restaurant in here. I absolutely adore the noodle bowls. So if I want to just hang out with my friends, this is a great place as well. But it also is home to a lot of different academic services and departments. So as an international relations and Arabic major, the modern languages and literature department is in here. So my Arabic advisor is in here. So I do spend a lot of time. We also have the religious studies offices. I said language, culture department as well. So just a lot of different academic resources in this building as well. We also do have right behind Williams Hall the office for study abroad. So study abroad is amazing here at Lehigh. There's tons of opportunities. Around 40% of all Lehigh students do go abroad at some point in their academic career, which is a really incredible number, especially for being such a STEM-heavy school like we are. The reason that number is so high is because we actually have programs that aren't just the typical semester-long programs, but you can actually go abroad over the summer, winter break, even spring break sometimes, and that could be in the form of attending a foreign school, research, internship, anything you could really want. I actually spent a semester in Geneva, Switzerland, interning at the United Nations. I expressed interest in kind of interning abroad, not just studying, and Lehigh gave me tons of different opportunities and used their connections to help me kind of achieve my goal of studying or interning at the United Nations, which was so awesome. Also, another thing about Williams, my favorite event at Lehigh, or one of them, happens in this building. It's called De-Stress After Dark. So the peer health mentors kind of put on a full pre-midterm, pre-final event, free massages, you get to plant a succulent and you could take it back to your room. We watched High School Musical 2 in here, baked cookies and decorated cupcakes, so just everything to let loose and relax before midterm or final season. So I love that we get to use this space for pretty much anything that we want. Finally, it's home to the Center for Academic Success. Lehigh really emphasizes the idea that it's okay that academics are hard. College is a transition. You aren't expected to get straight A's, and frankly, it's very hard to get straight A's, and that's kind of the great appeal about Lehigh. So they actually send tutors to freshman dorms or first-year residence halls to make sure that if you're afraid to go get assistance, they'll actually bring it to you. And then you could also sign up for peer tutoring, professor tutoring, TA tutoring, either in a group or individually. So whatever type of accommodation or help you're looking for, this building can definitely offer it for you. And I really appreciate that as a student because I did not do as well as I wanted to my first semester freshman year, and the Center for Academic Success gave me a test to kind of see how my studying methods were, and they were not very good. But now I'm on the Dean's list, and I owe that all to the Center for Academic Success.
So this is Lamberton Hall right behind me. Before I talk a little bit more about that multi-purpose space, I want to talk a little bit about safety on campus. As you can see right here, we have a blue light system. Like most colleges across the country, we do have a blue light system here on campus, but Lehigh has gone above and beyond in terms of safety, and recently Lehigh created an application for your phone that is called the Hawk Watch app, and the entire focus of the app is on-campus and off-campus safety. So there's a bunch of really great different programs on there. So first, there's actually a virtual blue light. So if you don't ever feel comfortable or don't see one, but you always should see a blue light system around you, you can do a virtual blue light, and you can just press that button. It will report your location to our police force, and they will come and escort you to wherever you have to go, help you out with whatever you need. They typically arrive within 90 seconds, so it's a very speedy process. Also, our bus routes are on there, and a lot of other different options. And just to talk a little bit about our police force here on campus, we do have a fully accredited Lehigh University Police Department that's watching over our campus, along with our Bethlehem Police Department. And then I also do want to talk a little bit about our health and wellness services, which is located in Johnson Hall, which is right across from Lamberton that way. We have a lot of really great options within our Health and Wellness Center in Johnson Hall. We have counseling services, your typical medical services. You can make an appointment online. You can sometimes just walk in, call, make a quick appointment, and they will help you out with whatever you need. A lot of times you'll be able to walk out of there with whatever prescription you need. You don't even have to run to the pharmacy. So there's a lot of great resources in there. Also within the counseling center, they do group counseling, individual counseling, and a lot of other great things. So to talk a little bit about Lamberton Hall, Lamberton Hall used to be a dining hall back in the day. It is now a multi-purpose space. It's one of my favorite buildings on campus for two reasons. One, because it has Hawk's Nest, which is our late night dining option here on campus. They stay open until about 4 a.m. on the weekends. So, you know, if you're out late studying or hanging out with friends, you have an option to grab some food on campus. And they have all great fried food, milkshakes. They have about like 40 different milkshakes. I personally recommend trying the mozzarella sticks. But a lot of other really great things that are going on in Lamberton in the multi-purpose space is one organization, Lehigh After Dark, hosts a lot of different really great events. So every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, Lehigh After Dark will plan some type of event. They've done so many different things. They turned Lamberton Hall into an ice skating rink once. They will do stuff like painting, and they'll even do some trips off campus sometimes. So they once went to like the bounce factory or the trampoline factory nearby, which was really cool. So there's always something going on campus, and a lot of times that's happening right here in Lamberton Hall.
So we are at Rathbone Hall. Rathbone is one of the many sites on campus that you can dine here. Rathbone is an all-you-can-eat buffet style. So what you do is you take your Lehigh ID, you would swipe in, and it's a la carte. You can have anything that you want when you are in there. So we have many different dining plans here at Lehigh. We have 4. One of them is the a la carte option, so that gives you as many meal swipes as you want throughout the semester to use at both Rathbone and other places throughout campus like lower court and upper court. We also have the 200 meal plan swipe. We have the 250 meals plan swipe, and also 19 meals a week. So 19 meals a week, pretty self-explanatory. You have 19 swipes throughout the week, and on Thursday night, those will reset to 19. For the 200 and 250, again, self-explanatory. Those you can use throughout the semester, and they do not roll over into the next semester. So if you have a bunch left over at the end, weekend, kind of cool. You can use those at other places to kind of stock up on some snacks and fun stuff like that. Some other things that come with the meal plans are dining dollars. So there's going to be a different number of dining dollars depending on which meal plan that you pick. But basically dining dollars you can use at many of the cafes here on campus if you want a quick coffee in the morning and you don't want to use an entire meal swipe for that, you can do that. We also have Gold Plus. Gold Plus is where you can load money from your credit card onto your Lehigh ID. Gold Plus you can also use at those cafes or upper court throughout campus. Another cool thing about Gold Plus is you can use it at restaurants in the surrounding Bethlehem area. So I know Domino's Pizza takes Gold Plus, really convenient. Also Johnny's Bagels in Farrington Square and various other restaurants. So that is really awesome about the Gold Plus option. So inside Rathbone, there are many different food options. You've got pizza, salad, sandwich bar, breakfast bar. Those are pretty great staples inside, but obviously there is food that rotates throughout as well. So if you're sitting in your dorm and you're like, what do I want to eat tonight? You can go online, see what Rathbone is offering that night, which is really convenient. I know that I used that a lot when I was a freshman. Another cool thing about Rathbone is there is a dietary person that you can meet with if you have dietary restrictions. So whether that's like vegan, vegetarian, or you can't eat a ton of dairy, whatever it is, you can meet with them and say, hey, like this is what I eat at home, and they'll work with you individually to make sure that there's always something in Rathbone that you can eat. I never found any problems with finding food in Rathbone, so that was really great. One awesome thing about Rathbone too is every single Friday there is Chicken Finger Friday. That is really, really famous here at Lehigh. Basically, every Friday on one of the bars inside, you have chicken fingers and curly fries and a bunch of different sauces. And it is really just one of the best things that you can do here in Rathbone.
This is Lower Sense. This is one of 7 different first-year residence halls that you can be living in at Lehigh. Typically these are doubles, but there are a few triples and a few singles that you could be living in, but the standard is a double. You can find your roommate at Lehigh a few different ways. The first is networking in the Facebook group. The second is taking a survey and finding out who matches you. It's almost like a roommate dating website. I found my roommate that way and completely enjoy it. And you could also take that survey and go completely random. Now, living in Lehigh, you can find a few different communities. The first being Arts Alive. There's Outdoor Adventures. There's also a community service group to just find friends that want to do the same thing as you. Now this is pretty cool. At Lehigh, you have to tap in. So I have my student ID, click right in, and we're in. So you can only have access to your residence hall, which I think is a really nice way to make sure that you're being safe. So this is a lounge. You got a few tables, chairs, and there's even a kitchen. I love making some cookies at night with my friends, so it's super great. There's also a ping pong table, which is really nice. So you can play with some friends. You can also study in these areas, eat just anything you want. We're now gonna show you a double, which is really nice because Lower Sense is a pretty standard size. There are some bigger, some smaller, and each resident gets a key, and you go right on in. All right, so this is a standard layout. You got 2 beds, a desk, a little side cart area, and then 2 closets, and those 2 closets are either gonna be built-in or units like these ones. Now the beds are really nice because you can lift them, you can get bed risers. So typically you can kind of customize the room in any way you want. Clearly residents like this will typically choose to have them on each side, each person gets their own place. But it's super nice because you can find your roommate, you can do anything you want and kind of decide beforehand, you can decide after, and decorate it however you want. I loved collaborating with my roommate. We got to decorate our room the exact way we wanted to. Now to move on out, we're just gonna move out over here. And with this, you can see this lounge area, there's a nice TV. Each TV got upgraded to HDMI capability, like HD TV capability. So it's really nice because I love coming down here. Me and my friends had bachelorette nights before, so it's super fun. And Griffins have even hosted events. So last year we had a Super Bowl party, and I'm a Griffin this year, so I actually live on the floor above this one. And I have host events for my residents. We have done voter registration parties. We have done so many different things to make sure that Lehigh gets you involved. You kind of get to meet your classmates, meet your roommates and everything like that, and just kind of stay involved in your community. Just gonna lock this up. Now the doors all lock right away. You can just kind of close it. And no one can get in other than you and your roommate because you both have keys. We're now gonna move further down into this hallway. Now Lower Sense is unique because it does have study rooms. These study rooms are going to be 6 seats. There's a whiteboard and everything like that to make sure that you guys are getting as much preparation for your classes as you need. And another great feature about Lehigh with security, when you're walking out, if I held this door longer for 30 seconds, it will go off as an alarm. And the LUPD will get a notification and come on out just to make sure that everything is being safe.
This is Zoellner Arts Center, home to the Lehigh University Music, Theater, and Drama departments. So a lot of fun stuff will happen in here. I personally spend a lot of my time in here as I sing in 2 of our choirs on campus, and I'm in an a cappella group. So inside Zoellner, there are 3 different halls you could perform in. There is Baker Hall, which seats about 1,000 students. So some fun stuff that will happen here is orchestra concerts, band concerts, choir concerts, student-run shows, the spring musical. Lots of cool stuff. Orientation things will also happen in Baker, so you can fit a lot of people in there. It's really great. Lehigh will also have outside speakers come in to Zoellner and just kind of speak about whatever it is going on. And anything that happens in Baker is actually free to a Lehigh undergraduate student with a student ID. So that is really, really awesome. I always get my friends to come and support me in the choir concerts because it's free, so that's great. We also have Diamond Hall, which is just another small theater inside Zoellner. There will be student-run productions put on in there. And we also have the Black Box, which similarly student-run shows will go in there as well. We also have an art gallery on the 3rd floor where artists will come and showcase their art, so it's really nice to be able to walk around there, see some art, and just relax. There are also private rooms on the 3rd floor where you can practice piano or practice any sort of musical thing that you got going on. So whether that's voice, trumpet, trombone, flute, literally anything that you want, you can practice up in those rooms. I will go up there and play my electric guitar, so I'm not bothering all the people that I live with. So that's really great about Zoellner. It's a really great place. It's also, you can study in there. There's some tables you can sit down. It's pretty quiet a lot of the time. So that is Zoellner.
Behind me is Roush Business Center, which is home to Lehigh's College of Business. As a finance major, I spend a large amount of my time taking classes here. Pretty much all of my business classes are housed in this building. Obviously, I take classes in other buildings as well, but all my business classes are held here. All of my professors' offices are held here as well. Additionally, within Roush, there's a cafe, which is on the 2nd floor. It's great to just grab a Starbucks coffee, or they have awesome sandwiches, salads, and soups. Sushi, everything is pretty much take and go or custom made, which is awesome just to go right after class, have that access there. It's really easy to have dining halls or cafes in academic buildings. Additionally, within Roush is the Financial Services Lab, which is home to multiple Bloomberg terminals, which is awesome for finance majors since we will be using this software, this technology in our daily jobs once we graduate. So having that access to hands-on learning and state-of-the-art technology is awesome that Lehigh provides us with that. This is things that you can't really learn at home. You definitely need the technology. So Lehigh providing that is going to prepare us well for jobs, and that's what companies want to see. Additionally, within Roush, I like to highlight the academics. The average class size is only 28 students, and around 80% of classes are going to be under 35 students. So again, smaller class sizes, that's something I really value looking at colleges. That's not to say there's going to be no bigger classes. For example, my Economics 1 class was around 150 to 200 students, but even though it's a larger lecture, it did not feel like a big class at all. And what I mean by that is, even though you're in this 200-person lecture hall, you're broken into groups of 20 weekly and paired with the PhD student teaching assistant just to go over all the material taught. Nothing is new information from the TAs. It's just way more comfortable to ask questions and to go over material that's confusing in a group of 20 students. So even though it's this big class, it does not feel like a big class. That's something that I was concerned about, but definitely once I experienced the first recitation, all those concerns went away. So yeah, that's also within Roush. Professors are also super accessible across Lehigh. Their office hours are always written on the board as soon as you get to class the first day. And if you're not able to meet during their office hours, they're easily accessible to do a one-on-one meeting with you, for example, or to meet with the TA of that class. And then finally, I like to highlight the tutoring available. That's something I didn't really consider applying to colleges was access to tutoring, but I've really learned that I definitely took advantage of Lehigh's free tutoring. I became a tutor myself, so just having that access to tutoring is awesome. And I like to say that Lehigh quite literally shoves tutors in your face, since they literally put tutors in your freshman residence hall every week for a couple hours just to sit there and wait for questions from students. So having that availability that Lehigh provides you for free tutoring is unmatched and something I definitely valued, and I encourage people to look for in their colleges to make sure that they have that access to. But again, that's just the academics and the College of Business at Lehigh.
So this next stop is Wilbur Powerhouse. This is the hub for a lot of the collaboration available on campus. There are a lot of really cool things you can do in this building, including you taking advantage of our prototyping lab, our laser cutter lab, our t-shirt printers, our sanders. This necklace was actually made in Wilbur Powerhouse, which is pretty cool. It's a really wonderful space for getting together with a team, working on a project, making a tangible project. This is also where our technical entrepreneurship people often meet. So it's a program where you get connected with people across other majors and take on projects from the outside world. It's really wonderful. You can use all of the equipment. You have your own separate computer lab that has all of the programs you could possibly need downloaded on it. It is also a great location for our interdisciplinary programs on campus to meet up. I know that my group met up here a lot. I am in the IBE program here on campus, that is the Integrated Business and Engineering program. But we also have two other interdisciplinary programs called the IDEAS program, which is interdisciplinary between the College of Arts and Sciences and Engineering, and the Computer Science and Business program.
So this is Packard Lab. Packard Lab was built in the 1920s and is named after James Ward Packard, who is an alumni of Lehigh. Packard Lab is the home to the Mechanical Engineering Department, the Electrical Engineering Department, and the Computer Science Engineering Department, as well as the P.C. Rawson College of Engineering as a whole. Inside Packard Lab, there's a bunch of different laboratories and research labs, as well as classrooms and larger lecture halls as well. Some of my favorite labs that are housed in Packard include the Aerospace Engineering Laboratory with the large wind tunnel, the Manufacturing Lab, as well as some of the really cool engines labs and cast molding labs as well. There are also a bunch of really cool CAD labs in here that students get the opportunities to work and design products, as well as then creating them later in the labs themselves throughout classwork. Some of my favorite experiences in Packard have just been taking courses in here, hanging out in the auditorium down on the first floor. I've had concerts in this building and participated in a lot of other activities as well. And even in the front entrance to the building, there's an entire car in there, which was built by James Ward Packard's car company that he founded. It is the Packard 1 car, so it is stamped as the first car, which is pretty cool, and was last driven in 2015. They took it out of the case and drove it around campus for a little bit to give it a test drive.
So behind me is McGinnis, which is the home to the College of Arts and Sciences, in addition to the Center for Career and Professional Development. I like to highlight the Career Center since I've used it a ton. I think every student has used it at their time at Lehigh. They offer awesome resources such as interview prep, like interview shadowing. You can kind of do like a mock interview with them. Resume workshops where they'll just edit your resume. They'll help you with cover letters. They have career fairs throughout the year, which I feel like every student takes advantage of through their time at Lehigh. But just in general, they offer different mentoring, which they can mentor you throughout your 4 years at Lehigh and also 2 years after you graduate, which that's not really something I've heard of from other schools. I think that's an awesome resource Lehigh offers its students. And then behind me over this way is STEPS, which is the science, so it stands for Science, Technology, Environment, Policy, and Society. It is home to different environmental offices such as environmental studies, environmental engineering, earth and environmental sciences. So a lot of students that are in those programs will take classes here, and they'll have their professors' offices here. In general, it's a LEED Gold certified building, which means it's incredibly environmentally friendly. It's also one of my favorite buildings on campus. I personally have never taken classes here, but I will study here. It's awesome, quiet spaces, and it's also just gorgeous to look at.
So the next stop on our tour is the College of Health, which just opened this semester for the first years coming on campus, but the building will be open next year. You can see it being built here behind me. So we are the second college to ever have a population health bachelor's degree, which is really cool. It's all about looking at health from a perspective of the full population, but we also have a global health certificate, and there are going to be more programs coming in the future years. This is going to be a wonderful resource for our students coming in the future years. And I had the wonderful opportunity of getting to speak with some of the staff that was hired here a year ago. And they're so excited to be working on an amazing curriculum that's very relevant to the world, the constantly changing world that we're living in right now. And it's going to be very applicable and put Lehigh students ahead of other students.
Welcome to Farrington Square. This is one of my favorite places on campus. As you can see, it's a great outdoor space where on nice weather days you'll find tons of students out here studying, doing homework, having coffee or lunch with friends. But there's also a lot of great buildings around it. So as you can see behind me is the Lehigh bookstore, where you can go and get tons of textbooks, any school supplies you might need for classes, as well as Lehigh apparel. You'll find anything in there from sweatpants to sweatshirts, hoodies, anything you need to show your school spirit can be found in there. There's also a Starbucks and a small convenience store, so if you need to get some coffee or any small groceries, it's great because it's convenient right on campus. Also above it, if you can see, is some Farrington Square apartments for upperclassmen housing. So that's right here as well on the lower part of campus. And then over here on the left is Johnny's Bagels and Deli. It's one of my favorite places to come and grab bagels. I am from New Jersey, so I have pretty high standards on bagels, but even I think that these bagels are really good. It's a super great way if you're studying in Fairchild-Martindale Library all day and you need a break or a quick snack or just a change of scenery. It's a great place to go. Tons of students love to go down there and grab some lunch. So right next to Johnny's is the mail center, which is where you will go if you have any mail shipped to you. So every Lehigh student is allotted a P.O. box, and you'll get an email anytime a package or a letter is sent to you. And you'll go in, swipe your ID card, sign for it, and walk out. It's super easy, and if you ever have to mail anything out, the staff there is super helpful with that as well. And then on the other side of the mail center is the Cup, which is definitely a campus favorite. It's one of my favorite places. I have a sweet tooth. So it's a locally owned ice cream parlor. There's two locations, one here and one on the north side. Like I said, it's locally owned for over 80 years, and that has given them tons of time to perfect their 40 homemade flavors. I have not tried them all, but it's my goal by the end of my 4 years here to have tried all 40 flavors. So far, my favorite is Cookie Monster. It will make your mouth a little blue, but it's totally worth it. So I highly recommend grabbing that flavor if you go there, or any other flavor, because you can't go wrong with any of them. And one of my favorite parts about Farrington Square is on every Thursday from April to October, it hosts a farmer's market. So tons of vendors from around the area come and sell their homemade goods. So you can get fresh fruits and vegetables from local farms, pastries, anything, good things like that, lemonade, kombucha, tons of stuff. I personally love the peanut butter. The peanut butter man comes and he sells his homemade peanut butter mixed with fruits, chocolate, tons of crazy flavors. I will always be found here on Thursday afternoons getting my peanut butter. And Farrington Square leads right into the south side of Bethlehem, which is great because the city of Bethlehem hosts tons of events that are great for Lehigh students, some of which include the Music Fest, which in the summer is actually the largest free music festival in the nation. There's also the Steel Stacks, which is great to walk around and see industrial buildings. They host a lot of events too. And there's just tons of local shops and restaurants, which is great to explore with your friends in your free time and really get involved in the south side and the Bethlehem community.
Welcome to Mountaintop. This is our graduate research facility on campus. Right behind me is Building C. This is where a lot of our art, architecture, and design students do work on projects where they can come and study. They have really cool facilities in here to just come and hang out during the weeks. This is one of my favorite places to escape campus and come and get some work done during final season. In the buildings, there's a large bays, 3 big bays that line the sides of the building that are used for large research projects and our Mountaintop Summer Research Program. That program is worked so that students are able to either bring projects or apply for projects, and they spend the entire summer working on developing their research programs to either continue on in the future or develop something just for that summer. It's a really cool opportunity for students to get involved in research if it's not something they want to do during the school year, and it's also a fully paid program, which is really awesome for students interested in some financial stuff. And then over on the left is Iacocca Hall. Iacocca Hall is where a lot of our chemistry, biology, technology and civil engineering research is done. It's also home to the College of Education. Over in Iacocca Hall, there's the observatory, which looks out all over Bethlehem and is a really awesome spot to come and hike up to. If you're having a great day and want to come and check out Mountaintop on a nice free summer day or spring, fall, whenever it's open.
Welcome to Goodman Campus, home to nearly all of Lehigh athletics fields and stadiums. As you can see behind me, there's soccer, field hockey, footballs in the back, and behind us is Stabler Arena, which is Lehigh's basketball. So while it is on the other side of South Mountain, it's easily accessible through our busing system. And on big game days, such as Lehigh Lafayette football games, there's even a bunch of school buses that will bus all the students over here. So it's easily accessible, even though it is on the other side of a mountain. Goodman Campus has one of Lehigh's 2 gyms. Cundy Varsity House is over here, and that's for all the athletes to use. And then on Asa Packer campus is Taylor Gym, which is accessible to all Lehigh students. Taylor Gym has so many amenities, anything you might need, from cardio to weights to free weights to machines, from basketball courts to squash courts. My favorite, the rock wall. Anything you might want to do, you can be found at Taylor Gym, and it's great to split it up so that Taylor Gym never gets too crowded or too busy. Taylor Gym also has some fitness classes that are run by professionals or even some Lehigh students that are certified, and they're at highly subsidized rates, so it's super affordable for all students to participate in that. So if walking around campus up and down the mountain isn't enough exercise for you, Taylor Gym is perfect for all your needs. Lehigh is a Division I school, but if Division I athletics is not for you, but you still want to be involved in athletics, we also have club teams that are still competitive and compete with other colleges on the weekends, but the time commitment for practices isn't as much. So you'll meet with your team like once or twice a week, practice with them, and then get to compete on the weekends. And if that's still too competitive, we also have intramural sports, which are super fun just to get together with some of your friends and make it as fun or competitive as you want. You'll play some sports from basketball to flag football to dodgeball. They'll rotate about every 2 weeks. So it's a great way to stay active. So any level of sports and athletics that you want, Lehigh can provide for you.